Richard Bruce Cheney is an American former politician and businessman who served as the 46th Vice President of the United States from 2001 to 2009 under President George W. Bush. He has been called the most powerful vice president in American history. Born the 30th of January 1941, Lincoln, Nebraska, United States. Died the 3rd of November 2025. Age 84 years. Previous offices: U.S. Vice President 2001-2009. See more. Party: Republican Party. Spouse: Lynn Cheney, Monsieur 1964. Education: University of Wyoming, 1966. See more. Grandchildren: Kate Perry, Philip Richard Perry. Cheney previously served as White House Chief of Staff for President Gerald Ford, the U.S. Representative for Wyoming's at-large congressional district from 1979 to 1989, and as the 17th United States Secretary of Defense in the administration of President George H.W. Bush. Born in Lincoln, Nebraska, Cheney grew up there and in Casper, Wyoming. He attended Yale University before earning a Bachelor of Arts and a Master of Arts in Political Science from the University of Wyoming. He began his political career as an intern for Congressman William A. Steger, eventually working his way into the White House during the Nixon and Ford administrations. He served as White House Chief of Staff from 1975 to 1977. In 1978, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and represented Wyoming's at-large congressional district from 1979 to 1989, briefly serving as House Minority Whip in 1989. He was appointed Secretary of Defense during the presidency of George H.W. Bush, and held a position for most of Bush's term from 1989 to 1993. As Secretary, he oversaw Operation Just Cause in 1989 and Operation Desert Storm in 1991, while out of office during the Clinton administration. He was the chairman and CEO of Halliburton from 1995 to 2000. Early career. Cheney's political career began in 1969 as an intern for Congressman William A. Steger during the Richard Nixon administration. He then joined the staff of Donald Rumsfeld, who was then director of the Office of Economic Opportunity, from 1969 to 1970. He held several positions in the years that followed. White House Staff Assistant in 1971, Assistant Director of the Cost of Living Council from 1971 to 1973, and Deputy Assistant to the President from 1974 to 1975. As Deputy Assistant, Cheney suggested several options in a memo to Rumsfeld, including use of the U.S. Justice Department that the Ford administration could use to limit damage from an article published by the New York Times, in which investigative reporter Seymour Hersh reported that U.S. Navy submarines had tapped into Soviet undersea communications as part of a highly classified program Operation Ivy Bells. White House Chief of Staff. See also Halloween Massacre. Cheney was assistant to the president and White House Deputy Chief of Staff under Gerald Ford from December 1974 to November 1975, when Rumsfeld was named Secretary of Defense. Cheney became White House Chief of Staff, succeeding Rumsfeld, 28. He later was campaign manager for Ford's 1976 presidential campaign. Personal life. Cheney was a member of the United Methodist Church and was the first Methodist vice president to serve under a Methodist president. Cheney's brother, Bob, is a former civil servant at the Bureau of Land Management. His wife, Lynn, was chair of the National Endowment for the Humanities from 1986 to 1996. She is now a public speaker, author, and a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. The couple have two daughters, Elizabeth, Liz, and Mary Cheney, and 7 grandchildren. Liz, a former congresswoman from Wyoming, is married to Philip J. Perry, a former general counsel of the Department of Homeland Security. Mary, a former employee of the Colorado Rockies baseball team and the Coors Brewing Company, was a campaign aide to the Bush re-election campaign. She lives in Great Falls, Virginia, with her wife, Heather Poe. Cheney publicly supported gay marriage after leaving the vice presidency. Death. On the night of the 3rd of November 2025, Cheney died at his home, surrounded by his family at the age of 84. He had been experiencing complications related to pneumonia and vascular disease.